Well, what you're looking at is my 3-board quiver. So on the left of the screen is the Hovercraft 2.0. In the middle is the Stratus 164 wide. And, oh, by the way, the Hovercraft is a 160 wide. And then we have the 162 Mountain Twin wide. The question I have for myself is, did I really need a wide board everywhere? Yes and no, and we'll get into that. So of the 3 boards in the Jones series here, the one that is the most flexible and probably the most versatile is the Hovercraft 2.0. So it also has a spoon nose with a little bit of rounded up on the sides, a little rocker in the nose, and a short, quick turn up of the tail with that split tail there that you can see. The flex pattern on that board is pretty even from tip to tail. It has a nice flow in that flex. It goes well between the 2 binding insert areas, and it's a fun board to play on. Next is the Stratus, and you can see it's not quite as wide in the nose. Starts to taper in with side cut earlier, and ends up with a directional nose, obviously, and a short tail. Again, a little bit of a split in the tail. It's not as fun because the board profile overall is much thicker from the nose all the way to the tail, with particularly large raised sections underfoot, which require a lot of pressure, momentum, and everything to bend it and set it on an edge and keep it on an edge. Thought it would be pretty good in powder and probably great in light powder, but we haven't really had light powder. A good example today at Lookout, the snow was so heavy it was unreal. And it looked great when it wasn't cut, but the Chair 5 opened late, therefore the whole front of the mountain was cut really quick, and you were bouncing from pillow to pillow with all the tracks in between, which released your edge and pressure and made you work really hard. Moving over to the 3rd board would be the Mountain Twin, which I thought would be, wow, a twin, directional twin would be a lot of fun, etc. So the Mountain Twin and the Stratus, neither of them are what I would call a torsionally soft board in torsional twist. Therefore, moving across them and being wide, they are a little bit slower in edge set from toe to heel. The Mountain Twin is narrower through the midsection, as you can see in that, and it's kind of a fun board, but I have to tell you that I actually took out, that's a 162 wide, I took out a 157 standard width, and it was so much fun. The flex pattern on it was improved. I was able to push it around and move it around and change edges quick. So I just can't make up my mind on this idea of wide. Overhang is overhang here and there, but even on the wide boards here, my overhang is probably less than a half inch to 5/8, and that's not a lot. And let's get real for a minute on overhang and all that kind of stuff. Very few of us in the riding world, unless we're posi, double posi stances and into huge angles and tips, we don't really tip the board up as high as we think we do. Therefore, it isn't all that necessary, I don't think, to have no overhang, etc. And with that, the mechanics change, and hey, I'm an older rider and I don't want to work that hard. So Jones boards are tight, they're tough, they're built to go up, high altitudes and bust through ice and chunder and crap and ride. And unless you move with a lot of speed, a lot of momentum and young legs, the wides just probably are not for me. So I'm going to be looking at possibly a Mountain Twin in a regular width, and maybe even a softer twin, which I believe is a Rally Cat. But anyhow, these boards, some of these boards will be going up to be sold by me, and they'll be a good price. So if you're interested, let me know. So we're out on that.
Leave the board on or off?
You can take it off. All right, so it's April the 11th here at Lookout Pass, and I'll do a quick talk here on board number 4 in the Jones lines. So I had, as you know, I have the 2.0, I have the Strata, and I have the Mountain Twin. All of them ride differently, all of them take a different foot placement, and they're working boards. And I'm going on 81, I don't know that I'm going to work that hard. So it's been a process in learning, feeling, and adjusting, and man, variables, thousands. So right here is the Jones Tweaker, and it's a true twin. It's the only one of the Jones boards that's a true twin. I'm enjoying it. It'll ride regular and switch pretty easy. But the one thing I had to do on it that's different is I had to revert back to a duck stance so that my lineup through the center of the board was delivering more to the effective edge that I have. So very enjoyable, flexible, fun, etc. Now, that's the pros. The con for me is that it is a little shorter. I had to get in a 157 in a wide. I would have preferred a 159 wide or even a 161 wide, but it wasn't available. So I'm going to come over here to the side profile of the board, and what I like about the profile on the side, as you can see, from nose to tail, the line of the top sheet and the bottom do not vary a lot. Therefore, my positive camber on it is just easy to play with. What I don't like about it is this roll up in the tip here that rolls up so high up in here, because what it's doing is it's reducing my ability to lay this part down and have a little more effective edge. So it rolls up high right through here, so my effective edge doesn't, may be here, but it doesn't start really for use until about here. Also on this board I have the force, the Union force binding, which has way more adjustments than any of my Joneses, which I really enjoy. I'm able to center my foot across by moving the toe pad and the plate across. I'm able to move the binding across. I'm able to adjust the heel cup on it to where I really get a good overage of heel and toe overhang, or a unified stance through the center of the board. So guys, I hope you like that and enjoy that, and that will tie into my other talk about this year's quiver.